Are you guys ready to witness the most exquisite type of content available on the internet right now? This is it. This is it, my friends. Enjoy. I got myself a new cat, guys. And it does cool tricks. Actually, I just wanted to trick you guys into look at how cool my room is. Look at that. With a 360 view feature on YouTube, I can do crazy shit, right? Even avoid brain rot cat. Look at that. It's frozen. It's done. You can just look away whenever you feel like it. This you might not be able to look away. But this you might have to look away because it's brain rot. Science is brain rot, guys. I swear. And if you think I stutter with the word science is brain rot, what is this? What is that? Why are most channels that incorporate science end up being brain rot? Well, for a very simple reason. Science is authority. Science is like actually the least authority to worry about, but it's still authority. It's still supposed to tell you what to do, how you feel, what the stats are, what foods to eat, how to drink water, how much water to drink. Science is going to do all these things for you, except it's not going to work for everyone. So it's like, what's the point? Because I've already made this video, but let's remix. Happening more than you can actually imagine because of AI, absolutely. Something tells me AI is staring right in our faces as we speak. So let's armor up in this video and learn everything there is to learn about brain rot. With the most unexpected source being science. I actually talked about it extensively. Source of brain rot. And it's that much more dangerous source of brain rot simply because this is innocent form of brain rot. Obviously, you can overdose very quickly by respecting this for some reason or just throwing at everyone. This is disrespect. Okay, disrespect to yourself. It's fun sometimes to not take things seriously, but it is what it is, right? Don't live by it. With science is the other end of the spectrum of you care way too much of what authorities tell you. And it's like, there's also a filter in terms of money. Like, most people are bought to say certain things. If there's an engineering breakthrough, that should be exciting. Misspelled it, but you get the idea. Engineering is not science. Engineering is more closely related to programming and logic. Well, in reality, science is kind of made up thing, which is more closely related to magic. And doesn't actually have its own definition. Yes, magicians are more scientists than science itself. Magicians have to actually learn sleight of hand. They actually have to learn tricks and they have to lie to the audience. And they're just showing cool, useless things to the audience that an audience wants to be fooled. It's like the most weirdest form of politics there is. You want to be fooled by it. It's just art, pure art. So science is not far from it. I mean, watch Darren Brown stuff and tell me that this is not science mixed with magic and it's like the most natural thing that happens. Or the most elegant form of science. This gotta be it, man. I think the same thing can be said about Scam Nation. It's also doing so much science. The dude is digesting science every day. He can't stop. And the question is why? Well, that's what he is. He's kind of a magician. So you never know what the actual reality is until you properly define what the things really are. I don't trust science. I think is a bunch of a bunch of entertainment. And unfortunately, space entertainment is not very entertaining because it does not propose that you can actually go to space yourself. Unfortunate, isn't it? It's better to just learn a card trick and show it to the nearest random person, and you will still have more of a space travel than by just drooling all over Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about fucking oblate spheroids. I mean, I'm sorry, bro. Science is completely into your brain. That's literally toaster. It's one toaster. Literally, science is testing if they can add one toaster. That's a test of science. That's how they made the word. Like, how else do you make a stupid word like this? This one has. How do you make a word like this in here? Like, come on, dude. And we know these like hormone manly. Yeah. We also not only know the names of the hormones and chemicals in the brain. We know that it's a hormone in the first place. We know that brain contains chemicals. And now we have images of like how these chemicals even interact. And all of that is brain rot. It's useless. It's storytelling. Yes, it could be really happening, but what the fuck is the point? I can control my own body. Every single part of my body I can control. Except some things have such great inertia and some things handle things so very well that I don't have to control it. It happens naturally. And yes, it's nice to know what happens naturally in most circumstances, but that's still not going to be useful. Science is brain rot is the most unbelievably true statement. Yes, every step of the way. Yeah. Dopamine does not get released at specific time. It is released when something's supposed to feel good, when you want to reward yourself, basically, for completing a task. Then dopamine gets released. But what task are you supposed to complete? Are you supposed to do good things or bad things? That's up to you. That's up for your moral compass to define. Define. If punching someone in the face feels good, well, you define that punching people in the face is what you want to do in life, I guess, and you want to do it successfully. And that will release dopamine. So it's literally the most unpredictable shit. Even if you're talking about dopamine every fucking day of your life, dopamine is still the most unpredictable thing, and everyone else programming themselves differently. People program themselves to manipulate these hormones, these feelings in their body, of how they alert the body, how they go into fight and flight mode, all these things. People decide, people control themselves, unless they follow authorities, unless they follow parents or politicians, or they want to appeal to society or community, whatever, right? But people have choices. They make choices. Why is science here telling us what's gonna happen? Again, I think I rest my case. Science is brain rot. Engineering is good. Engineering is a tangible way of solving problems. Science is a stupid way of observing the world. So often science is being used as the prime authority to debunk conspiracy theories and make them feel stupid. When in reality, authorities literally step in and knock down flat earth from even being a topic that we can honestly discuss. We can't honestly discuss that shit. It's banned from YouTube, shadow banned. Making science even more of a brain rot than you can imagine, because now it has authority. Now it gives you like fake powers. With AI, things are also shifting. Science and silence rhymes and is basically the same thing. Authorities are trying to silence you, they're trying to intimidate you, they're trying to not question reality, and this way you will never learn. This way your brain will never grow. Authority likes when you don't question things, okay? They decided something, and that's the status quo, as they say. If you question things, it just bothers them. It's like, why are you questioning things? Just to agree. Just be intimidated. Bend over. Or shoot you, bro. What a good argument, right? Best arguments come from government forcing you to do certain things. Away from you, don't know. There's a reason why government evolved to stay out of your life. There's a reason for it. I don't want to force myself. Yeah, next is 3D printing episode. I'll spend a whole day researching basically 3D prints, seeing if there's useful ones that can improve one's life. The whole fucking day by becoming authority. We don't have to listen to anyone else but science. Science is going to tell me what to do. I don't have to listen to anyone else. And that is just, ugh. Science is not going to test everything all the time. You actually have to make your own decisions very, very often. Including the fact that you can make decisions. You can't do science. You can't test things on your own terms and see what works for you personally. On a personal basis, science does work. But on a basis where you just trust something without testing it, You know, science is something that you have to recreate. You cannot just trust it. Faster, very likely, if you don't just look it up of what is the correct thing to do. AI giving advice is amazing. AI replacing jobs is amazing, but there are the downsides to the amazing sides. AI craps out on the Internet of Things. It invades the Internet constantly. I would say it leaves us worried because just because our jobs are replaced with AI doesn't mean we get paid. You know, it's annoying. Maybe that's all I know about. Yeah, so many people will have to reinvent themselves in the face of the AI. And AI is gonna flood the internet with a lot of fake things, so all of a sudden we can't trust the internet anymore, which is so sad. All the time we were able to trust the internet. Whatever we see, we can actually believe in. If a person is playing with ant hill, we sort of know that the video is real. Dude is throwing ham at the ants and doing kind of the real science experiment. What's gonna happen when I do this? That's usually what it is. Right, and we'll get to that. Go deeper using someone else's videos. There's one more thing. I'm running a series called Dead Mouse Drama, and it's absolutely interesting. What has been going on? How so many channels use science for some reason and end up brain ratting the internet. So what's going on here, right? Well, they are starting to, in the most brutal ways, assert their authority, but all they're doing is just copy and pasting someone else's science. And then mentioning all the types of hormones. The newest one is cortisol, the stress hormone. Oh wow, how much I need that stupid name. We can call things hormones, right? Of like shit happening in your body because of stress. I guess that's useful to someone, but for fuck's sake. That's what it is. It's brain ratting the internet with every single topic they can possibly come up with. And they fucking spam that shit out as if they actually even know what they're talking about. They don't. They paint everything in a negative way, and so for 3 videos in a row, they just yapping about addictions. The potential danger of, I don't know, treating everything like a drug is that's just on like an American thing. It's like it doesn't serve anyone. Who is so attached to the internet to brain rot themselves for the rest of their lives on the internet and that they have no prospects in life? That's a rarity. I don't think people tend to do that. All right. And then the solution is also brain rot solution of like, stop. Just stop spending so much time. Touch grass, as they say, but the touch grass thing is also brain rot because you have to actually spend quality time. Wherever you feel like you can spend quality time, I spend on the internet. I want to connect with smart people. In local space, that's not possible. There's not enough locally smart people to connect, and it's not easy access anyways. So it's much better off to just trust the screen to deliver you to smart people, or encourage you to become a speaker yourself. Unfortunately, I still haven't connected to anyone. YouTube fucking hates me, I guess. I don't know. This channel started spamming this, but I guess it is cleaning shit up again. We'll delete. Yeah, it's questionable. Literally, the last video is saying shadow banned. Watch this video before you get shadow banned. Oh, yes, really yes, you would. I would say the brain rot is a good FB content, and they do it successfully, for some reason. But they don't actually provide much value whatsoever. In this particular case, yeah, they're just very good at occupying space on the internet. But if you talk about things in a negative way, you made minimal progress. You talked about something, but it's negative to you, so you just pushed people away from that topic. You haven't made any progress. Because, oh, we discover masturbation as a bad thing. Oh, let's stay away from that. No progress. We just know that masturbation exists. That's it. We have spam. We have a bunch of shit videos being produced that enrage me tremendously because it's also sprinkled with science and it goes nowhere. I never learn anything. I would learn so much more if people just go up front and tell their stories, tell their experience. Everyone soaks in science over time. By getting older, you experience things, and every story you have to tell is somewhat reasonable. You have to become a good speaker, of course. You have to become relatively old to start telling stories, but that shit is the most valuable information you can find. An old man looking at a camera and telling his story, that's great. This is just a greedy person trying to make a quick buck. And they're fucking successful. They're insanely successful. Now, like Ashley's method. This is the most masturbation there is. Like the brain ratting on the internet is masturbating yourself. But because you're so excited about getting paid for this shit. But at some point, you have covered the ground, and now you look like a fucking desperate lunatic trying to cover just a little bit more ground, just like Russia is trying to take over Ukraine. It's like, why do you need more space? For what? You know? I just want minerals. No, they're just disgusting human beings. They feel like they need more space, but in expense of taking that space from other people. So it's the same thing. They run out of space to take from the internet. They run out of authority to insert of like, I'm the first one and I know about this topic because I've read some fucking scientific paper or whatever. It's pathetic. Just things a completely different way. And it's like, masturbation is not some kind of mysterious thing. Either people like it, enjoy it, and there's no big drawback here that I found more relevant than ever before. People have to learn, otherwise they will be left behind. If you're not learning anymore, you're going to be left behind because knowledge is going to be more important than money. At some point, money will be second to nothing of importance versus knowledge. Knowledge is resource. But first, we will have to dethrone things like Bitcoin. We will have to destroy things that look appealing, but they are not useful. That's just brain rot, bro. I think Bitcoin is a highest tier brain rot, to be honest. People want to invest into something, but because the best investment is to invest into other people, that means that whatever else you're going to be investing in is actually not good. Yeah, so I suspect that Bitcoin is going to go down, that it's a brain rot investment, basically. But it's something that people agree on of like, well, it's a good investment for everyone until everyone tries to sell, you know? Because there's a better technology than Bitcoin all of a sudden. Because of course there should be. There should be a technology that works better than Bitcoin simply because we want to buy things and sell things right now with some kind of currency, something that works, something that people would agree on. Something like Pokemon Go is the better Bitcoin that Bitcoin is this alternative anti-government currency. Pokemon Go is better than Bitcoin. Are you fucking kidding me? And it's like, okay, you think you can beat this with Bitcoin? No. You can only beat it because it tried to be a game. It didn't try to be Bitcoin. So many people live in their own little camps. They believe their own little things, and they think in this echo chamber that nothing is going to change, nothing is going to happen, but things are going to fucking happen. Crazier than ever before. I can even ask right now of like, AI, is Pokemon Go better Bitcoin than Bitcoin is to itself? Comparing two very different things, huh? Yes, these two ideas could merge. I'm just saying, Bitcoin seems like the most bare bones garbage that is used by scammers, by anyone who wanted to be distracted by, hey, how do I make money? By investing into other people, by building a business. The most ordinary way to make money is the way to make money. There's no escape from that. Why are people inventing fucking their own style of bikes that don't work, you know? It is one thing to invent a bike, it's another thing to invent a bike that does not work. And you wasted all this time and effort and potentially even risked all your money on the line. It's crazy. But Bitcoin going to the moon, yes, it's a good investment. Congratulations, people still care about that shit. You can potentially use it as a bank currency, and that's about it. You cannot buy anything with it. You will have to cash out anyways to a currency of your choice. Maybe you're sitting in a good spot. Who knows? But at some point you will have to panic. I don't want to deal with that shit. I can't buy anything when I'm put all the money into Bitcoin. I can't buy anything. So what's the point? And I don't know if I'm gonna be fast enough to cash out. So I don't want to have no wallet. That shit can be stolen, unfortunately. Maybe even easier than not. You know, maybe AI is gonna find your fucking Bitcoin wallet and just loot it. Like it's the easiest fucking form of currency to loot ever invented. Who knows what happens next? I just don't see a stable future for something that was invented 20 years ago, right? So Bitcoin can also be brain rot. Brain rot solution and to not something. Stable. This will be tackled. But will be tackled by AI, right? Real task online. Multimodal assistant. Yeah, you can imagine that AI is going to be a separate robot assistant software operating system where you just like keep talking to AI to do certain things like play this certain type of music, do this task for me, open this kind of video for me, like all these things it's gonna do. Which is already technically doing, and the assistant, the voice assistant, is already doing most of these things. But it's gonna be more ingrained basically. Like Opera browser is introducing some kind of AI assistant version as well. So that's exactly where things are moving for the next year. But money is still the better thing to have, by the way. For like 2 years, my best advice is to use money as a score counter. Alright? The less money you spend, the better you're off. Because technology moves fast and it's replacing the previous technology. It knocks that shit out. And even technology can be corrupted. Technology can move forward in a different way where it's like it becomes more trustworthy. For example, less scary. That's also an improvement, right? So for now, money still is king. But eventually it's going to be dethroned as a lesser priority subject. Money you have. And yeah, you will be immediately, when the priority changes, you will immediately invest into technology instead. Reinvest that into technology immediately. Best investment is needs or yeah, the best investment is the possibility of whenever you need to buy something, you can buy something. The best investment is to just have enough money. That's what it is. Really want. We have to click this anyways. There's no escape. I just seen Anna can do the brain rot video as well, and it was a brain rot video. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull out how much brain rot is in this video that we're gonna watch. This 10 minutes, 60. Yeah, a video that's supposed to be against brain rot is brain rot. Who would have thought, right? There's gonna be brain rot apocalypse happening right now. Just in this video alone. Oh, here you go. The brain appeared and it's now gonna rot. Our brain indicator. They can't stop. They want to. I clicked the button because brain appearing is not a normal thing to do, you know? Here's how a lesser channel introduces a video. Look at that. Well, that does not look like brain rot. Yeah? That's a good introduction. So what the fuck is this? Summon the brain. Brain rot is not necessarily about the brain. It's not a physical reaction of you losing contents of brain. It's not an actual thing. It's just you occupying your brain with garbage. You're spending garbage time. You're looking at garbage, even though the internet can produce infinite amount of content right now. And it can actually be pretty high quality too. So now you will be tasked to decipher which content is better than the rest. And I would say you will have to come to me if you fail your task, because I can help decipher what is the best thing on the internet in any given moment. I'm primed to do that task. Yeah, because I'm starting to expose channel after channel of being consumed by brain rot. You can be subscribing to brain rot successfully. Talk to a girl is brain rot apocalypse, and yet she's successful. Why? Because we don't disrespect brain rot. We think it's like, oh, that's a cool business venture, you know, of providing people the stupidest type of content, and it works because it's special, you know? It serves some kind of male fantasy anyways. And it's like, okay, I guess it works financially. But when it comes to brain rots, it does not work. It is condemnable. This is also condemnable, and we will start finding that out the hard way. People who subscribe to brain rots, they're gonna be shamed and canceled. Cancel a few creators who don't meet the requirements. Yes, I only survived 2 minutes until brain rot began pouring in. Yes, I think the most important thing to say is not distinguished cognitive functions. I think that's a fucking brain rot way to say that out loud. It's best to go with the example that while you paying attention to the screen, there's a world around you, and you are less capable of living in that world. You're just only eyeballs floating around and watching. Literally, that introduction of 10 minutes of you getting distracted by a fucking cat when you can be enjoying something more holistic in your life. You are paying attention to here when there's a world around you. Things unfold. Everything can become brain rot eventually. The more time you spend on a particular topic, the more likely that it's going to become brain rot. There's so many dedicated channels on YouTube, and it's scary because they're probably brain rotting themselves, these people. And then they burn out and they quit YouTube because they dedicated to like one game or one type of topic. And it's crazy to watch that unfold. Yeah, you have to basically challenge yourself every step of the way if you don't want to lose muscle in your brain. I think brain muscle is way more important than actual physical muscle. Physical muscle is only needed to fight off fucking gorillas. But if every single person is trying to be scary and intimidating and evil, it's like, what the fuck is happening right now, right? That's not life. We're not living life. We're just hurting each other. So, growing brain is like the most harmless thing to do, technically. And the greatest self-defense tool. We're talking about being challenged work. This video was brain. Yeah. This was brain rot. You have to be very careful not to be subscribed to stupid YouTubers or propagandists of political leaning propagandists. This is gonna be so dangerous, so annoying. It's literally everywhere now that the dangers lie when it comes to like, I am realizing slowly of like, I need to be smart. I need to be smart no matter what now. It's gonna be the most important thing. And all these fucking lunatics gonna drag me down instead. Nothing actually useful. Yeah, bros just bounced off conspiracy theories and have learned nothing. And it's like, oh, I guess I learned nothing. Okay. Is that a flex? It's all gonna sound stupid to you. See, of businesses trying to rip you off. It's all about money right now. And it's actually quite good to break down that part of conspiracy world, basically. It's the money that matters. And you're being ripped off. In so many ways, you're being inefficient with your money. And even if you are efficient with your money, you're not investing into the other people, into making friends. You're not doing that. Yeah. The biggest problem, the biggest trick, the biggest scam, and the biggest brain rot is to try and get into your pockets and steal as much money as possible. You should worry about that right now. The biggest conspiracy theory, yeah, that's what it is trying to put on a label on a can and sell it for twice as much. Trying to pull something from a cheap website to an expensive website and sell it for 5 times as much. That's the conspiracy theory that is ongoing. The biggest conspiracy theory is subscription model. You know, conspiracies exist, and you should be actually aware of the things that are happening. The way businesses have more power to steal from you, basically. Flat Earth does not matter in the context of your money getting stolen. Absolutely. And you don't This is not exactly brain rot. It becomes brain rot eventually. Again, if you can spend one day watching this, I understand. If you waiting for the next Skibbity Toilet episode or the next, you just subscribe to this shit, I'm sorry, bro. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. More mentally challenging, which is brain rot levels of challenging.
The internet or being chronically online. So if we were to...
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going off the rails already.
We would look at.
We would look at the fact that they have the... I hope you can tell that we're going off the rails right at the second minute. Because this little bitch is gonna pull out of you gonna get addicted to the internet card. Because that's the only thing she fucking knows of. Like, you're addicted to porn and you're addicted to the rest of the internet. And it's like, that's literally your audience. You know, your audience likes to watch YouTube videos. Oh, wow, you're gonna guilt and shame them because of that? Fucking hell, dude. Skibbity on you. In other words, she's attacking incels anytime she can. Right now. I don't like you guys. The prime audience and the prime targets at the same time. Don't worry about it. You have to make them a target because you have to make things more serious, you know? more next level. But in this case of like, oh, look at this addictive phone thing. People just say that over and over again. And it's like, okay, if phones are the addiction, then what is the replacement to phones? And usually they don't have a good answer. And the moment they say a book, exercise, you don't actually replace phone with exercise. You can do both at the same time. In fact, that would be a much needed upgrade for your phone, is doing exercise at the same time. And then painting. Painting was the example. Like, this was crazy, dude. This was brain rot level 30.
Don't worry about it, okay?
In
I'm
all in
definitely
one
not trying to
video.
diagnose myself whether I have brain rot or an agenda.
Yeah, imagine you are typing, trying to learn about brain rot, and you get brain rot. This is the most dangerous thing that can be happening right now. Because people will increasingly more panic of like, how do I escape all this brain rot stuff? How do I actually learn things because I need knowledge? And they won't be able to actually get a grip on anything of like, this will tell you that touch grass based. This video will tell you to touch grass. I'm sorry, bro. Are you fucking stupid? Touching grass have taught me many
I
things.
have to be in a fucking defense mode already. That makes you feel bad.
Yeah, so internet can be good time or bad time. It all depends on how you use it as a fucking tool. Of course, if you get addicted to it, and it disrupts your life, that's bad. If it does not disrupt your life and you're learning many things and you actually rely on the internet as a source of many things that are possible, I rely on it very much and I enjoy it very much. And I see the world around me to be fucking rotten garbage, disrespectful, and annoying. So the world around me is collapsing while the internet is doing fine. I wonder which one I would choose. Running away from the internet or actually adopting it into my life as much as I can. It is pure insanity. Psych2Go is the most insane channel of all time.
From the addictive nature of
Listen to how she reads her script.
constant scrolling and mindless consumption of content.
The way she's
Content rolling.
the sentence just gives me brain rot constant. Man,
Just the way she speaks gives me brain rot. Because in reality, she just reads the script. She's not actually conveying information to you. It's already done. The information already baked. You just need to read it now. Okay. And we still got nothing, even though she was so prepared.
pronunciation of words because script.
Yeah, like, you're better off just sounding like a robot than exciting about reading some prepared sentences. Oh my, it sounded so weird, dude.
It's just you will be
Losing control of your brain. This is so beautiful. This is exactly how you would define brain rot. To the point. That is probably a very smart video. And much more worthy of watching. I hope there's some time left so we can
completely
watch it.
lost. Brain rot gets stuck. I'm gonna live happy lives, and they should actually project the good things happening to them, not the bad things. And then think about where these good things would come from. How do these good things would look like? See, that's the whole fucking point. Brain rot existed for a very, very long time. It's called negativity. Let's put it that negativity overload. Watching horror movies are going to put you in a brain rot situation where you think that ghosts are around every single fucking corner. When you turn off the lights, there's ghosts taking over your fucking house, basically. And when you collect enough ghosts, a serial killer will show up and destroy your fucking life. I mean,
Ghosts can disrupt your sleep too. Cynical people don't believe in ghosts, but also you wouldn't believe in ghosts if you just wait. Day after day you can find no ghost. Nothing really is happening, it's all in your head. Most people who are stupid and brain rotted have hallucinations, have fears taking over their lives. You just have to calm down and let it fade away. Realize that you are in control. And don't willingly consume negative content. That's the other side of brain rot, is doing the horror game or horror movie thing. Consuming that type of content. Or watching these negative videos, because funny enough, this is brain rot simply for being negative. Approaching it and like, oh, you're very likely to get addicted to the internet. And it's like, that's not the same thing as brain rot. Addicted to the internet is not the same thing. But it feels like this channel, that's all they know.
just say that.
What?
And it's like, well, no one has an answer for any of this.
Or reaction time and difficulty focusing on complex tasks.
Of course, we just imagining a bunch of negative things happen.
Yeah. Oh no, your reaction time will slow down. You're not gonna focus on things anymore. You're gonna get ADHD if you spend too much time on the internet. It's like, what the fuck? You're making shit up.
Choosing to be
Yeah, Brainerd is choosing to be
stupider
stupid.
than smarter. That's another very simple thing. You know, we already constantly bump into stupid people. It's just it's going to be more pronounced. We don't have to actually reinvent all of this, like bad things are going to happen to you if you do brain rot activities or whatever.
It's bad enough that you're not gonna be smart enough to make your life better. That you're not gonna be able to keep up with everyone else. Imagine neglecting responsibilities. How difficult is that? But it's just another thing that linked to addictions and nothing else. And they spend it like 20 seconds on this thing.
Okay, this one probably I can give. Hopefully,
You often
please.
prioritize your responsibilities.
Yeah, we can give them 20 more seconds.
To go all
Yeah, the funny thing is, if you accept brain rot, you will be banned. In so many situations, smart people will not want to interact with you because you keep talking bullshit. And you don't have to be extremely smart either. You just have to be willing to learn, right? If you're making jokes, you're gonna say, ah, that was a joke. But if you play into it, you'll get kicked out. You're gonna get out-moderated. And it's not gonna be a fun time to be kicked out of something when you have unfinished business.
important.
Yeah, instead of brain rot, currently we have drain rot. Because every month you have to pay rent. Your pockets are being potentially drained all the time. And a lot of people have to live in a panic mode of how the fuck do I survive now? The priority is very different, I'm telling you guys. But brain rot is gonna be next.
So unless you spend time.
Social isolation is being played. How do I respond to that, guys? Oh wait, it's capitalism and it just happens naturally. You gravitate towards the best things available for you. It can mean social isolation. It can mean social isolation just because you got a trophy and everyone kind of dislikes you. Or you have to spend time alone to hone your talent, social isolation, to be the best. Either way, this is a natural situation, and brain rot still does not come as a problem. Now, if you spend time alone, you're also prone to have mental problems. This is something I can give. And again, it's your will to surround yourself with bad things or good things. Does not happen naturally. The negativity does not happen naturally.
Very bad places.
Like so far, I'm learning that the only thing they care about is phone addiction, is porn addiction. That's the only thing they know, and they know barely anything interesting about it either. Because it's all hypothetical, 1% chance that it could happen. These videos are as useful as talking about there's 1% chance of ghosts happening, 1% chance of lightning striking your face, 1% chance of winning the lottery, and people buy into that shit when they're monkeys. That's the level of content we are watching right now.
That's another video.
Crazy.
You will learn to.
Now, my biggest question, and it's a separate question, of how many times do they just talk about addiction and nothing else? How can you spam out so many videos in that particular way? Like, holy shit.
Anxiety.
There's a problem with this statement, right? Because it's used by bullies. People want to deny you having fun on the internet so badly. That's why it's important for you to make your own decisions and do it very well. Right now, computers were not a good invention. Computers made you sit down and do very unproductive things in exchange for a very little amount of money. But soon, technology is going to be the most powerful and liberating thing for everyone. And it's very affordable too.
That's important. All these wealth problems caused by capitalism. So, when they're using technology and knowledge as the prime resource, we're not going to talk about inequality anymore. We will talk about people being more stupid than others. People are who drag our society downwards, basically. Because they don't understand how to use technology properly. That's brain rot. That's when it's going to become relevant. So this little bitch channel is trying to get ahead of time and already to define things, not the way that it's going to be defined.
Into decay. As a kind.
Oh, it's actual brain science comes in and it's like, well, your brain actually decays. Yeah, when I punch in the face.
This is the most painful thing because I know better. And there is a channel out there that does not know better. And yet it's spreading its information. capitalism was an upwards battle, uphill battle, and most of the time, you're better off not battling, you're better off sticking around with the rest of us, rest of the gang, because this keeps you more and more corrupt. The same goes here. The stupider you will stay when society wants to go here, if you go deeper and deeper into brain rot and gonna turn yourself into a fucking anime character and gonna transition 20 times over, basically, and create all kinds of AI garbage and consume AI garbage, I'm sorry, bro. You don't want to be here. Just like you don't want to spend your entire life competing for more money. Enough is enough. So on one side we were fighting inequality, and on the other side we will fight stupidity.
The case, as it should. Stupid
This
science.
could explain why so
No, it's actually real, guys.
and the good news is yes.
Yes, we can do something about
Brain
brain rot.
university is going through
Stay tuned until the end, and they're gonna say, "Hey guys, do therapy."
social media activities that actually engage our brain. Habits.
The kids now, they say the same thing over and over again. They repeat the same shit of like, "Oh my god, you could be spending your time touching grass right now instead of your fucking phone, you stupid piece of shit." Same thing over. They can't stop, man. None of
Exercise and painting. That's how you're going to be more productive, guys. When is exercise going to be a productive thing that you need the muscles to move something, to do something? Open a jar faster? When? That's the funny thing. That's the scary thing. The only thing, maybe you're going to get some self-esteem in some situations where you still have no right of earning self-esteem, because you're better off just running away from all the drama anyways. You get older, you get more muscles anyways. You just have to have good habits. Painting, though? Get the fuck out of here. This is a very childish, female, low-quality advice.
these are productive
That's what
pieces
it
of shit behavior.
You are better off scrolling TikTok and finding about other people and how they live their lives, what they think, than painting and exercise. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? That's brain rot. I have learned so many things on TikTok. Just watch What the Fuss series if you don't want TikTok, if you want to look cooler. What the Fuss series, and you'll see how many things TikTok can actually teach you. Fucking doom scrolling, yeah. You definitely defeated doom scrolling. You definitely made people more productive. Painting. Fuck
Here's
off,
people-
man.
Thing outside of the internet addiction or interaction is first learning how to do sleeping schedule to some extent, controlling your sleep as best as you can. Learn how to do that if there's something to learn. If there's nothing to learn, then cooking is the next priority. The next priority after that is exercise, is comfort-seeking exercise. We can freely move every single limb anytime you want. You have to position yourself that way. If you're not actually able to.
Yeah, there are things you can focus on if you unglue yourself from the internet, but I don't see many people successfully do that. Traveling does not work. Meeting new people is very difficult and risky. The only thing you're left with is partying at best. Having an internet addiction is not something to be shaming over and over again as if that's your fucking life purpose. As if that's where you're supposed to get all the money from. It's crazy,
Easily get out of
dude.
your chair.
Okay, that's his brain rot right there. Let's listen to that.
To play your gaming. Now, you can be surrounded by friends and people you appreciate the company of, but it can easily become a brain rot environment without friends. When people are cheating, you have to cram your brain to be competitive in that environment. You have a genuine addiction of being better in the game, and and you spend overly amount of time, and you get frustrated as well. This can cause the most brain rot I've ever seen, caused within me as well. Basically, being overly attached to a specific activity and wanting to be the best, being actually competitive in it, it's dangerous. You have to be making friends at least, otherwise it's definitely not worth it. Oh my god, Crip is in danger. I think he's getting less and less viewership. No? He's still the same? Well, I think it's less. I think it's actually dipping even lower now. Maybe.
I think it's equalizing and he's no longer becoming a viral sensation.
YouTube algorithm bases things on me as well, of what I click on. I'm just showing it as an example of which community I belong in, and that you can make bad decisions, and YouTubers tend to stick.
Yeah, multiplayer games is the worst brain rot. You get frustrated, you are in a competitive environment, You are addicted to one particular game. You're spending excess amount of time grinding that game, potentially grinding just to be better. You're spending excess amount of time just to spend in the game to grind some kind of resource in game, just to unlock some new item. It's crazy, dude. Multiplayer games is the most dangerous brain rot. So, funny enough, socializing isn't always a good idea, isn't it?
with the format. That was it.
Yeah, PewDiePie was not able to stick to one format of a video, but he still kind of defaulted into some like easy brain rot type of videos as well, and eventually got disqualified
That was it.
If you're spending hours on
from being the best
social
YouTuber.
Depression.
news, it is spread depression.
Brain rot is a symptom of widespread What the fuck are you talking about? First of all, where brain rot comes from is a whole other topic that we're not even talking about, to be honest. But let's just say brain rot comes from stupidity and arrogance, thinking that you are smarter than other people, and I don't get subscribers, I don't get listeners.
For them, brain rot is just another word for addiction. They don't actually see anything different here. For me, I see as losing control of your brain. Yes, multiplayer games can be an addiction, but there's so many addictions to choose from. Why not mention all of them? Why not have all the context? Why not have all this information? But unfortunately, this channel is addicted to scientific papers. It's stuck in a very tight bubble and does not actually learn anything about brain rot whatsoever. While me has to see people suffer and treat me like shit simply because I don't edit my videos. I don't have crazy ass performance on full blast display for you to intimidate people to subscribe. It's crazy how that alone helps people decide of like, oh, I'm just gonna go towards brain rot instead because it looks nice. Vibe is important. Alright, I'm not gonna deny that, but it's not that important.
Good one. After all, for some reason, right? Just because I don't know how to fucking animate, all these things. But all of a sudden, when I just say AI,
Yeah, eventually with the AI, I will be able to counteract a little bit and sound a little bit smarter, or maybe connect with people who can help me out.
I can look at shit and it's being said.
Yeah, when influence tracker comes out, I encourage you to use it and evaluate content for all the cringe that it contains.
And you keep
And when you genuinely evaluate something, it's a lot easier to avoid poor quality content.
like
Another Max Stats episode is talking about flow, a flow state. This is probably the final Max Stats episode. This is what we're going towards and hoping to achieve, a flow state, an unholy, very powerful, where everything is successful, but you're slow. You're taking it slow. You're taking it easy. You're successful. You cannot burn out while doing any activity that you choose to do. Finally reaching a flow state is the way we used to live in a society, but it's very difficult to reach that level. When you feel true freedom, when you're low in terms of your output of energy, but you're still relatively successful and most importantly, healthy. So I can't wait to reach that topic. We don't deserve. We are mere mortals to this topic. But in the end of the year, it's going to be the final episode. It's going to be beautiful.
max cortisol. Let's find how exactly it's spelled so we can laugh at it. Okay, so court. Yeah, I'll see you in court. You should be stressed. I will see you in court.
This constant style watching this video again from time to time, it doesn't mean you're exempt.
Okay, that's nice. That one is a nice move. Even if you watch educational content, doesn't mean you're exempt. You can still find brain rot. And art can also be brain rot, especially a new style of art. I think games are a form of art. And YouTube videos technically supposed to be art.
Again, obviously, if you want to learn something in life, you jump from one topic to the other. You jump around. You don't stay in one place. Which is, YouTube is prone to be brain rot. Like, the YouTubers, they know about one thing and one thing only, usually. They don't actually educate themselves on a variety of things. However, I will check Veritasium, bro. I think I do like Veritasium, but it's still questionable. It's a science channel. Science tends to be the most variety content. I think documentary is still better. So the greatest variety is gonna win, is gonna avoid the brain rot apocalypse. All
I
right.
mean, on TikTok you can find lots of cool shit that people do.
Found a few.
Even like,
So yeah, as you can tell, you can still spend time with OEIE cats and learn its shitty fucking name without actually damaging your brain. That's fine. That's like reference to how brain rot looks like. It's wanted poster right there. We have to kill this before it's too late. But you have to spend time, accordingly of based on your level of expertise that you can handle. The smartest thing you have to spend the most time on. So that's why I do programming, right? That's why you have to have a hobby. Like the most complicated stuff, you have to spend the most time on and then be most engaged. Everything else is semi-randomized by the algorithms, by other attractive things like fucking world of females. Everything else is up to chance. Or things you're already subscribed to, things that are already like uh, predetermined, less randomized because you trust some YouTube channels to deliver you good content. It can happen. It's very hard, but it can
Certainly providing
happen.
long-lasting mood.
oh my fucking god, dude. It's not gonna happen naturally. You might actually toss your body into a fucking corner, into a very uncomfortable position, and all of a sudden, you're brain rotting. How about recognizing that when you're scrolling TikTok, you have extra time to exercise at the same time? Isn't that crazy? Why is that not being even mentioned? Oh no, they don't actually have good ideas. They're actually not a good, smart channel, isn't it?
Food benefits 10 to 30 minutes of moderate activity
No,
each day.
no, while you watching TikToks, okay? That's when.
This could include or swimming.
Obviously not entirety of the time, because often you're gonna watch TikToks when you are tired.
Anything that
But
gets
you get the idea?
Yeah. Especially.
Yeah, that's the reason though. The reason it's nice is because serotonin and dopamine. Our gods. The chemicals we obey and mine. How much dopamine do you have, bitch?
And they drew it wrong. Because usually one leg steps forward and the opposite arm steps forward, but it shows that the right arm and the right leg goes backwards. And it's like, why is this? What's going on? This picture is wrong. Maybe you should spend time painting, Like actually. And you stop making these stupid mistakes.
Pick up 5 minutes.
Pretty sure that's
Okay, I'll show to people who don't understand. The opposite leg is in front, the arm is in the back, and then you have this. Technically, the arm is not even blocked by a torso. But this one is sort of is, right? You can actually paint it darker because it's further away. So it's supposed to be like your left leg and arm. You can see these are opposite. So how would you not know how to do that properly, huh? Maybe you're a fucking brain rot channel who doesn't pay attention whatsoever.
was mentioned.
I'm just saying, I'm
If you're not a
sus
creative person,
on that.
Other hobbies in particular to boost mental sharpness,
how was it proven?
improve overall well-being.
Of course, you're not supposed to be sitting down and being a consumer without taking a dump every now and then. Selecting one of the areas that you can actually pursue.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting saying. When you consume content, don't forget to take a dump. I mean, that something has to come out. Some kind of creative process has to occur because you're consuming content. You have to at least try. You never know when you're going to be successful.
Or even attempting. Last question that we have to answer is unfortunate. Yes, there's a correlation between depression and the brain rot that you fucking produce. Because holy shit, I wouldn't want to spend time with you. But imagine if there's nowhere else to go, and that's depression. There's no actual solution. There's no replacement for this shitty fucking brain rot content. And I can't wait until there are replacements. And maybe the next.
Literally, it's asking of like, is there correlation between depression and brain rot? And I say yes. Because when you run out of options and you find this instead, it will make you depressed. Because, oh shit, I'm ending up watching brain rot again about a particular topic that I care about.
Probably gonna
Fucking
go
hell,
for, or at
dude.
least of watching
So
this
yeah,
nonsense. There are people who
finding
get
better
you
channels is what we will hope to
advice.
do right
I don't
now.
have to escape that. So the biggest, the toughest, the most depressing thing.
Yeah, even back in the day, I isolated myself into computer space while everyone else is playing outside. And guess who has brain rot? Not me. I'm not a smoker. I'm not a drinker as a consequence of this social fucking disgusting behavior. But they haven't received their consequences yet of providing me with nothing, no reason to go outside. They will receive the consequence of I adopt technology much faster, in much greater ways.
Off because they're too stupid to handle. With the biggest brain rot then happening, I smoke.
So let's see how this video handles brain rot, huh? I don't want to just depress you guys that there's no way out. There's probably a way out. You gotta click on the right video. You gotta choose wisely, my friends. Yeah, it could mess up your brain, your flow state. Especially like the notifications can become brain rot too. You have to very carefully choose who you lend your brain to. Immediately, I appreciate this video.
You know only about this video through to the end.
Okay, I don't like her.
They lured away
Because she's using a tactic of like, oh, most people will not watch this video.
by another massive.
Yeah, that's why it's so easy to take a shit on other creators, because there's other creators to watch, you know? Endless amount of people who want to be big on YouTube, and it's like, might as well give them a chance. I'm actually playing very strong cards when I upload these dead mouse videos and go after other channels. I have a perfect solution to that. I'll just focus on smaller and smaller creators, and I will never run out of channels to dunk on.
And let me confess something. The same
I'm making this video because I felt brain rot. Okay.
restlessness,
That's good. That's personal experience,
that
at least.
same TV show
Okay. An inability to read books is not brain rot. Inability to read books is realizing that books are fucking garbage. The least interactive media, and the most difficult to pay attention, because like it's genuinely difficult to read books. It is just what happens when you, after watching videos, you get the better type of technology. You don't want to go back. It will make you uncomfortable. It's like sitting in a shitty chair and you want the comfy chair instead. That's how it feels like reading books.
and
So unfortunately, this video is probably not going to be good enough. I can smell the rat from a mile
order
away.
to simply think. But head, why
All the tactics, bro. Every hook is being thrown. All of this editing to try and brain rot you, basically. No, that's still not good enough of a video, my friends. You're still gonna be tricked to watch this garbage.
happening and what we can do very capacity.
Maybe if you're talking about brain rot, don't overwhelm me with a bunch of fucking shitty visuals. But again, what else are you gonna expect from women? They're just gonna do a bunch of crap.
Let's focus this video. Like right now, your brain is being rewired in real time. But to understand exactly what's
No, I have full control of how I rewire my brain and how I feel about your fucking video, bro. We don't know each other, but don't fucking raise my voice,
going
you know?
on, you need to look at how our brains think very specific.
That's what it is. With every single fucking SE video, we go back all the way, as far as we possibly can, because we need content. So we go back all the way into hunter-gatherer level. Fuck off, every time, bro. People use the same fucking tactics. When they're pieces of shit creators, they use the same tactics as their little tribe of creators.
Let's pay attention to what matters with these same reward chemicals, not to find every like, every
Yeah, I mean, brain is probably alerting, and the depression can be linked to the idea that you don't want to spend low-quality time. You don't want to rot.
crucial survival
I've heard someone talk about it in a specific way like that. Props to them,
cue
I
in a funny
guess.
cat video. Result, a relentless cycle.
Oh, for fuck, it's released dopamine again. Oh, wow. Wow, dude. Of course, if we find reward on TikTok, we want more of the same thing. Wow, crazy. But it's always the same pattern of like, let's talk about dopamine now. I'm sorry, guys. There is no escape. Internet is already brain rot. Already. It's like a rug pull operation has been happening for years now. And you woke up in a very, very tough moment, my friends. Pick up the rifle and let's fight these shitty fucking channels, who even when we ask brain rot, they appear to say hi. And I just want to punch the shit out of them, actually, and destroy them. Because their integrity is absolute shit. The only thing they have is more time to steal your money. That's it. That's all they have, my friends. They want to steal your money very much, and they have plenty of time dedicated for that particular task. I don't have time. I'm protecting my brain. I'm protecting the quality of my time. And I'm hoping that people will open their eyes on their own terms. Thank you for surviving. See you guys next time.